How about now? We're back. Sorry about that, guys. What an amateur hour moment for me. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Amateur hour. Yeah, my brothers just told me no sound. All right, so confirm, guys, that you can now hear me again. Amateur hour for me. My bad. I had my microphone plugged into my work computer because we did a Skype meeting today and I forgot I had transferred my mic over, and that's what I get for not checking. That's on me. That's on me. I'll take that one. So I apologize. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and do this. Might as well do this intro once again. All right, so here we are. Welcome to the Steelers podcast, if you will. And let me just start and give myself a starting point because I'll probably go back and edit it to this point. So let me be quiet for about 3 seconds and then I'll jump right into the intro again. Welcome, guys. Thanks for tuning into the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and I thank you for tuning in. And for you guys who were here about 2 minutes earlier, there was no sound. For you guys who are going to see this on the rebound, this is why you're hearing me say this. We started over, so hopefully I can edit it to a point to where it starts from here. If not, just bear with the sound for a moment. It will come, trust me. All right, so what we're going to talk about tonight, man, and I basically said, just to sum up what I said a few moments ago, let me cut a little music on for you guys. But what I basically said, man, is this is probably going to be a longer show, longer than normal. I'm going to have Tony on. I'm going to have Kenyon on. We're going to do our roundtable, but I'm going to get to the film study first. Do a little bit of that, then I'm going to bring on the guys, and we're basically going to talk about the current status of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And wow, like Tony would say, take all the medicine out of the medicine cabinet, put all the knives away, all of your firearms away. Don't do it to yourselves, guys. But this is going to be one of those shows. We're going to talk about the good, bad, and the ugly. And if there's any good, we're really going to be scrapping to try to find some good. Tough situation. And I apologize for you guys, man. I didn't get you the official post-game show like I said I would. Things just didn't pan out. I'm glad I did do the episode from the hotel. Luckily, you guys, were able to get that and great viewership on that as well. You guys did a great job with that. So thank you. It was the more unnormal version, if you will, streaming from the phone in the hotel, my son to my side, my wife sleep. But I thought I would bring something to you guys. And at that moment, I had not seen the game, but I have seen it now. I've gone through the all 22. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So again, for you guys that are just getting in here, we're going to do some breakdown of the film, and then we're going to bring Tony and Kenyon on, and we're just going to have at it. All right, so the first thing I would need you guys to do for me, man, show some love, hit that like button for me. Let's do that early. Share the stream, get more people up in here, because I want to hear from you guys in the comments, as well as if some of you guys call. If you call, because we're doing a different format tonight, again, we're probably not going to take many calls, but we'll try to get you in, if time permits. So this show will probably be a little more than an hour, which I'm cool with, and I'm sure you guys don't mind that as well. We'll see. But first and foremost, man, let me say what's up to those who are already in the building. My man, More AGWS, Mike Garment. A lot of you guys saying no sound, no sound, no sound. Let's keep going until I get to we finally got sound. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks to all of you who said that. Somebody said I thought I went deaf. Loud and clear. So Aguilar confirmed. So let's start from there. Aguilar 99 and a host of other guys. Myron Sanders, Black and Gold, Antoine, Dragon Z, Debbie, Darren Clark, Vista Light, Peter Bell. Many of you guys, appreciate everyone, definitely keeping me on my toes, letting me know there was no sound there. After that, Spacely 703, Pappy Negro, okay. Vista Light, Rough House Boxing, Sun Moon 80, Lanisha Hayes, Myron Sanders, Peter Bell, Marcus Jones, JDC Jr., Jason Winningham, and father-in-law Leonard is in the building, Y Diggy, and Ali Howard, and we'll stop right there. And let's go ahead and get into it, man. So, first thing we're going to do before we get into the film. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, the injury report. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the injury report, guys. Bear with me as I go over here to the site. Man, it's not looking good, folks. First and foremost, we already know James Conner went out in the game. We already know Deontay Johnson, and we already know Juju Smith-Schuster, which we found out after the game. Just yesterday is when I heard that Juju is also dealing with a knee injury. So not only is he in the protocol, he's also dealing with a knee injury. So we'll have to see what his status is. Right now is uncertain for Sunday. As well as right now, James Conner is uncertain for Sunday. We're not hearing as much from Deontay Johnson, but of course he's in the protocol. So like Tomlin would say, we'll see how, his participation would be the guide. We'll see if any of these guys are able to practice, et cetera, and if they can pass the protocol. And also, Ola Adeniyi, or Adeniyi. I still don't quite know for sure how his name is pronounced. I haven't heard it from him, so I don't know. We'll just say Adeniyi. We'll just say Ola. How about that? He also is in the protocol, which also it caused us to make some roster moves. So let's get into that. But yeah, we got a lot of people injured, and this is going to be quite an experience, guys, if the Steelers are unable to get those components back on offense. Speaking of Juju and Deontay Johnson, let me see what else my guys have here. All right, Tony said he's not able to make it tonight. No big deal, Tony. Don't even worry about it, man. Kenyon gonna hold it down for you. And my cousin Floyd, if Floyd is listening, if you want to join in, we'll make that happen. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, guys. As far as the round table, it will probably always be myself, Kenyon, and Tony, or myself, Kenyon, and Floyd, or Floyd and Tony, or maybe the three of us. I'm just going to say that now. I'm not going to really get into the habit of having, multiple different people on, because it's easier to keep things in good format, when you have the same panelists, if you will. Maybe we'll open it up at another time. I'm not going to do that tonight. Maybe after the season, I'll be happy to bring some of you guys on to keep the show interesting and things like that in the off season. But for now, that's how we're going to keep it. All right. So speaking of injuries, again, the Ola one, that's a tough situation, which caused us to make a roster move. And before I get to the name, let's talk about some of the other roster moves. First and foremost, November 14th, Roosevelt Nix was put on IR, as well as Ryan Switzer. Now, I was going to do a round of applause, but I'm not like that. I don't wish injury on anybody, but I am going to do a round of applause, and I'll tell you why after the applause. So let me do a round of applause really quick, and then I will explain myself. Okay, so no, Sim is not a butthole. I'm not. I am not applauding the fact that Ryan Switzer is injured. What I am applauding is the fact that now we get the opportunity to see if there's anybody else capable to give us a return for the rest of the season. Now we're scratching and clawing and kicking and digging and trying to find a returner. So sometimes there's a silver lining in unfortunate situations. This one is going to allow us to see if there's a possible kick returner that's currently on the roster, to see if anybody can make it happen for us. Okay? I am not applauding Ryan Switzer being injured. I see people do that all the time, and that's a terrible thing, Steelers fans. I've seen it amongst us. Some of us who are in here in this chat. That's not right. That's not right. You can't do that. Never wish injury on anybody. Because let me tell you something. Even though you ain't playing football, you could injure yourself right now. You could walk out of the house, twist your ankle, pop your Achilles, anything. Don't do that. It's not right. However, again, like they say, one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. Maybe this allows us to see if we have a kick returner that's, laying there on the roster, or perhaps it'll give us more reason to understand we need to go elsewhere, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to be back next year. That's just my estimation. I don't know for sure. All right, so let's get back. Let's follow this track here. So those two guys are put on the roster. on the IR, right? So then we signed and we promoted Tevin Jones. And we all saw Tevin Jones play against Cleveland, as well as we signed Jaron Elliott back to the active roster. All right, now since then, November 16th, we signed Deon Cain and running back Kerrith White Jr. I don't know too much about these guys. The names I do kind of familiar with the names, but I really don't, I don't know their play. I know I do remember Kane from Clemson, but I couldn't tell you what type of guy he is. I know he's a big body guy that can run. I don't know what type of receiver he is, as well as I don't know much about Kerrith White. I'm familiar with hearing his name, but again, I don't know much about him. I just know he's a speedy guy, and that's kind of how I know his name. You know, one of those guys that did well in the combine in his year, what have you. But I don't know anything about these guys. But because of that, key thing to remember, these guys were on practice squads, which means, according to the rules, they have to remain on the active roster for the Pittsburgh Steelers for 3 weeks. So that is interesting. That also tells me if they have to be on the active roster, these guys are going to play. Perhaps Kerrith White will be the kick returner, okay? And perhaps Deon Cain will get some snaps on offense. Makes sense to me. Now, here's the other interesting thing. Jaron Elliott was released, as well as Tony Brooks-James. Same day. Now, you know, poor Jaron Elliott, you're talking about a roller coaster. That's the life in the NFL, man, when you're not a bona fide superstar, unfortunately, right? But at least you get a little bit of money or whatever for your trouble. All right, so now no more Tony Brooks-James, which I kind of, you know, I liked the potential of what maybe he could have been. I'm not saying I thought he was a great back or anything like that. Didn't know much about him either. But again, he showed that he has some quickness. He showed to be perhaps a different back than what we have on the roster, so I was happy about that. But now he's gone, so maybe Kerrith White Jr. will be the guy. Who knows? Then, 2 days later, November 18th, we signed Quadri Henderson. Remember that guy? Remember that guy that was supposed to be our kick returner? Maybe he's going to get the opportunity. Maybe we utilize him a little bit like we utilized or was at one point utilizing Ryan Switzer. We shall see. It's going to be very interesting to see what we do with a guy like that, right? As well as, again, Deon Cain. Which one of these guys are going to get more time on the field? We'll see. And again, Tevin Jones is still here. All right, so we signed him as well as another guy, receiver Amaro Darboh, D-A-R-B-O-H. I'm not familiar with him, but both of these guys, him and Henderson, were signed to the practice squad. So let me pump the brakes a little bit in saying that he's going to be a returner. He's currently on the practice squad. We'll have to see if come Saturday he's moved up or what have you. But right now, you would have to expect that it's going to be Kerrith White. But just keep in mind, Henderson is there. We shall see. All right, we released wide receiver Terry Wright. I don't even know who that is. Just being honest. I generally know our team, but I have no idea who that guy is. And then we also released Sutton Smith for the practice squad. Again, another roller coaster guy there. Sorry about that, Sutton Smith. But again, life in the NFL, man, when you're not a bona fide superstar. So then on the 18th as well, we signed another running back to the practice squad, Ralph Webb. I don't know anything about him as well, but it just lets me know that a lot of these running backs are not ready to go. Okay, that means there's concern somewhere. Remember, same situation happened when we first thought that James Conner wasn't going to play, you know, in one of those games, not this past week, but the week before. We were signing running backs, and lo and behold, Tony Brooks-James was on the roster and played in the game. So to see that we're continuing to sign running backs here lets me know that James Conner is probably not going to be ready, or they don't assume he's going to be ready. And maybe, again, his participation will be the guide. But I think when you're dealing with a shoulder injury such as his, it's probably not a good idea to play him anyway at the moment, right? So moving on. November the 19th, which is today, we re-signed Zhou Skipper. Oh my goodness. Round of applause for Zhou Skipper. Alrighty. Now, the reason why you give a round of applause, because guess what? He was signed off of the Giants practice squad, which, remember, if you guys are paying attention, remember what I said a little earlier about Deon Cain and Kerrith White, and excuse the noise in the background. My son and my wife must be flushing the toilet or something. I keep hearing water run. Excuse the noise, guys. What are you going to do? I'm in the man cave. But just to continue, remember what I said about White and Cain. They were signed off of a practice squad, which means they have to stay on the Steelers' active roster for 3 weeks. That will apply to Zhou Skipper. So for all of you Zhou Skipper fans, yay! Hip hop hooray! Zhou Skipper is coming to save the day. Just saying. At least we'll be able to see him because, again, he's on the active squad, which means if he's on the active roster, he's going to play more than likely. The 53-man roster, unless, they find somebody else to make active on game day where you can only go in with 46, but you would assume Skipper is going to get some time because the outside linebacker obviously is thin if Ola is down, and then we already know that Chicolo was dealing with some things as well. Maybe Chicolo will be back. I don't know, but we shall see. And the last but not least, man, LT Warden was placed on injury reserve. Another guy that we had to sign a few weeks ago when Tuitt went down. Hasn't really done much, in that stint. And now he goes down and he's placed on injury reserve. So there you have it. There we are as far as an active roster and a team. Very crazy, man. And like I said, we don't know the status of Juju Smith-Schuster. We don't know the status of Deontay Johnson. And it could very well be a very strange lineup once again against the Bengals at wide receiver. So, listen, man, the Steelers are struggling right now. The current state, and I'm not going to dive into that thunder. I'm going to wait till we get Kenyon on and we can chop it up. But I'm just saying, man, this is not looking good for our Pittsburgh Steelers, sitting at 5-5. What did I tell you guys a long time ago? Okay? No expectations for me in this season. And that's just how I'm treating it. So let's get into the footage, man. I'm going to try not to be extremely long. I'm going to try not to. And I didn't even really pick out plays today. I decided, what, we're just going to dive in and I'm going to go through some random plays. I got plays in mind that I know I want to show, like the interceptions, the 4th and 1, missed by Rudolph. Want to show a couple of those. I might show a couple of the big plays, by Baker Mayfield and the boys to kind of see what happened. But for the most part, man, the defense did a good job. After me actually watching the game, there were a couple times that there were some breakdowns in coverage. On the Landry touchdown, guys got confused and blew a coverage down in there, got mixed up, caught up in the wash. Landry's wide open. There's just a couple situations, man, that I saw on the field that, it's going to happen, guys. I mean, even the best defense gives up some points at times. But mostly, let me say this before I get started. The defense played a great game, man. Okay, remember, it was 14-7 in the fourth quarter still. They didn't score that other touchdown until like 5 minutes or so left in the game. And this is coming off of 4 interceptions. And quite frankly, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of those times, definitely that one, we turned the ball over and it's returned back in our territory. The defense pitched a lot of 3-and-outs. And I watched the condensed version of the game. It was my time, to ride instead of drive when we were on the way to South Carolina. And I watched it in that 31 minutes, when you condense it. I watched the full game twice. Many times we had them in 3-and-outs. And even if we didn't give up a 3-and-out, it was many times that we still got off the field, even after turnovers. There were some times that we didn't contain Baker Mayfield. Not all the time, but the times that he did extend the play, he was able to make something happen. We got to tighten up on that. But for the most part, the defense played ball, man. The defense played ball. If our offense could have shown any signs of being an offense, it's a different ball game. So, all right, man, y'all ready? Let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. Let's see what we got, man. Excuse me. Trying something a little different here, guys. Because I know you guys complained about, the footage not being, as upfront and in your face as you would like it. So let's try this. How y'all like that? Better? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So where we want to start, man, let's look at the first play of the game here, the kickoff. We get on Ryan Switzer a lot, but we might have to pay attention to the blocking as well. I've heard a lot of people say this, shout outs to Alex Kazor, and shout outs to, Steelers Depot and the Terrible Podcast. Those guys read my email on Monday's show. So for you guys who heard the show, y'all, you heard them, read my email and my question, as well as, Alex, shot me a little credit there. He says he loves what I do on YouTube. So respects to you, Alex. So if you're seeing this video, man, again, it's all love. It's all Steeler Nation. Love what you guys do, man. And I appreciate that you guys, have been able to see me, if you will, so. Definitely appreciate that. But take a look at this, man. This is something that Alex always talks about. Let's dump this in slow-mo real quick. Let's look at the blocking. I'm not even going to point out individual players. Just look at what happens here. Now, I can't say that the blocking is trash, but, you know, the directional kick definitely has something to do with this, but everything just gets jumbled up in here. You know, this guy gets blown up right here, whoever that is. I think that's Trey Edmonds. He gets blown up, pushed right in here. And there's just, you know, an unblocked man here. And this is just dead from the start, regardless of who you have back there. Now, some might say maybe if you have an elite returner, I don't know. Again, maybe he would see this, makes a guy miss and he has the corner. Or maybe he's fast enough to trust his wheels and tries to go this direction. I don't know. But I'm just saying the blocking isn't that great either, as well as we don't have the best return guys back there. So it's a combination of both. And this has been week after week after week. So there you have it. All right, so first up, man, as far as the critique, 3rd and 10 on the Pittsburgh 22, first drive of the game. I want to show you guys this play. I looked at this a little earlier. All right, let's put it in slow motion when it starts. Excuse me. All right, let's back it up. I want you to pay attention to something. This is man coverage. Here's your matchup right here. If you're able to stay in the pocket, you're probably going to find this guy, right? He won his battle. And the reason why he did is because a natural pick is created right there. Boom. If you're able to hit him, he's probably going to get 10 yards. Just guessing. And the reason why I say that, the ball is on the 22. He catches the ball about here. He can probably get 10 yards. Maybe not, but it's a good chance he gets that because this guy's back is turned. You know, he's dealing with Juju. If he catches it, Juju makes that block, scoots around the corner, and I'm assuming he's going to get the first down, right? But why didn't he get the first down? Pay attention to Mason Rudolph here, and it ain't even Mason Rudolph's fault in this situation. Look at James Conner. Mason Rudolph has to do the ole. Nowhere to go. Throws the ball away. Live another down. Well, in this case, you don't. You live another series because this is 3rd and 10. All right, let's look at it from the end zone angle. I want you guys to pay attention to James Conner, man. Listen, I love James Conner, but listen, it is what it is, man. I want you guys to pay attention to James Conner here. Please pay attention to him. Now listen, I'm not going to beat up James Conner in this situation. Let me show you why. But we just got to point out what actually happened here. Pause it. It looks like everybody's coming, right? At first glance, it looks like everybody's coming. So if you move it a little further, Conner is naturally sliding to the left. Now, the reason why, if I'm not mistaken, I can't see the number. I'm trying to locate Myles Garrett. That might be Myles Garrett. I can't tell. That's 90 something. But I'm trying to figure out what Connor's what his thought process was here. Why he rotated to the left first, knowing that he knows the play. He should know that Vance McDonald is going out on the pass. So you're not going to get any help here. This guy's coming off the edge. Do the math, James Conner. So I'm not going to destroy him for this, but I am going to heavily pick on him and poke him a little bit. Do the math. Look at the box. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Look at his head. He looks to the left first. He's looking over there. This guy's not coming. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Before you even see this guy. Right now, there's a potential that all these guys are coming. At least 6. You can at least say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are probably coming. You have to do the math here. You have to do the math here. You got 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 there. That's a straight up matchup. Now I get it. Like I said, maybe that's Myles Garrett. I understand. But you gotta do the numbers, James Conner. Right? Everybody accounts for their guy. They do what they're supposed to do. And actually, no, this is Juju on the route. I thought Juju was out there blocking, but that was Deontay Johnson. This is Juju. If you pick up this block, look at it from this angle, because it doesn't always look open when you're looking at it from the, the above angle. You hit Juju here. That's a first down. Juju gonna get 10, at least, I'm thinking. At least. But no, James Conner takes his eye off of, dog, you telling me right now he don't see him coming? I'm just saying, we got to point these things out. Look at this. Let me see. Was that Myles Garrett? Who is that? No, that's 92. Where's Myles Garrett at? I don't even know. Is that Myles? I can't tell. Well, anyway, causes Rudolph to have to do that. And then he has no choice but to throw it away. It takes a minor hit for his trouble. But it all became an issue because James Conner made the wrong decision on pass protection there. So there you have it. So what else we want to look at, man? Let's look at 3rd and 8. The Cleveland 37-yard line. We'll look at it in regular speed and then we'll hit it in slow-mo and see what happened. And that was the play, man, when Kareem Hunt just, got busy on Mark Barron. Now, once again, defense does a relatively good job. Look at everybody and look at the pass rush. I want you guys to look at the pressure there. Pay attention to the pressure. We got decent pressure there. Here we come. But we allow him to escape. TJ just missed him. He extends the play, and I know this is a lot to ask. But Barron's got to do a better job, man, plastering his guy. They got the matchup they wanted right there. Baker was able to make a play, and they moved the chains. But let's look at it again. Let's look at the rush again. TJ's coming on the outside. You got your game right here between Hayward and Dupree, containing him very well. They just couldn't get there. It's good pocket presence by Baker. Great pocket presence by Baker, man. We need Mason Rudolph to have that type of pocket awareness. He makes a great throw, man, and Kareem Hunt makes a good play. And again, Barron is not, in the worst of positions. He just got mossed for the most part. It happened to him again in that game. Almost made a good play there, but unfortunately almost doesn't count, right? So now, let's take a look at this one. Let's take a look at the touchdown right after that to Odell Beckham. This was an interesting play. Just let it run full speed, man. Then we'll break it back. We'll bring it back. Odell Beckham does the... Because you remember Mike Tomlin, when they asked him about Beckham, he did that, pre-game. Odell Beckham just picking with him a little bit there. All right, take a look at this, man. This ends up being cover 3. Minka has to take this threat because they're basically at this point, boom, right here. Let me pause it so you guys know. Once these guys, let me see, they're on the 43. once they get to about there, these are all vertical routes. Minkah has to honor this. And this guy's actually open. The underneath coverage ain't even there. He's open, you know, if he was going to him right here. He's open. But Minkah has to honor this vertical route, so he can't really provide help over the top. He has to take this guy if he goes vertical, right? And Odell Beckham just sticks his foot in the ground and he goes inside. And it's just a win. Now, I know some people are going to say, oh, Steven Nelson, blah, blah. Listen, man, it happens to the best of them, right? It's Odell Beckham. It's going to happen. Great players, great route runners and things like that, they're going to make plays. But more importantly, the issue here to me is perhaps maybe the wrong technique. You know, Steven Nelson is funneling him inside. He's playing, you know, he's protecting the outside. Look at his alignment. He's giving Odell Beckham him inside. So maybe he was expecting Minkah to be there. I don't know. This could have been a miscommunication because he's clearly giving him the inside. He's using the outside technique on him, whereas Joe Hayden is in a trail technique, but look, he's playing the inside, right? Hayden is playing the inside. So it's going to be tough for him to fight through and get inside. Only thing you can do is go to the outside, and then I'm sure Joe Hayden is relying on his ability there, boom, to close, make a play, perhaps. But down here, Steven Nelson, who has been our best corner, he's daring Odell Beckham to go inside. So like I said, he may have expected help there, and I don't think it was a blown coverage. It's just that based on the defense that we called here and them running 3 vertical routes, it put a lot of stress on the safety, right? So Minkah is not able to play center field. He has to honor this route coming right at him. And because of that, Steven Nelson playing the outside technique. Baker Mayfield makes a heck of a throw, and Odell Beckham is right there. And in the NFL, that's open in the NFL. Excellent throw, great execution, and then they scored very quickly after that. But also, here's another thing. It's play fake. And look how it sucked in Edmonds. See, Edmonds is stuck in no man's land right now. Remember, this is a cover 3. Right? He's supposed to be robbing anything coming down here. Now, maybe because he feels like there's nothing under there, you know, he's not gonna play down here. He's coming, you know, he's charging in. I guess he got faked out by the play action as well. And once he was in no man's land, look, because now he's chasing him. But none of that mattered. Big play, and they scored. So let's keep moving on, man. Let's see. What was this one? Let's take a look at this play, man. 3rd and 13 to James Washington, where we got the penalty. But I want to see this play in its entirety. Let me show you guys why I'm showing you that. Let's back it up. This has been a part of Mason Rudolph's problem as well. Ball placement. Remember in the preseason when he hit James Washington on the post? And remember some of the criticism was, that ball's got to be a little further outside, but Washington was able to make the play. Well, that showed up again right here. Look at this. Look at this all the way through. That's NFL open, folks, right here. He's open. See that space in between there? Put that ball on the outside shoulder. You put that ball out here, you might not even have to worry about PI. But he shorts it, right? And Washington has to slow down and come back inside to get it. And that's how we were able to get the pass interference. Let's look at it from this angle. If he puts the ball anywhere out here, and if it's on the money, maybe it's a touchdown. I don't know. I'm just saying. The ball needs, when you get one-on-ones like that, And some people that want to challenge this, your number one tip as to where you want to throw the ball is him, the safety. So look at this. Let's back it all the way back to where Rudolph should be able to see. The safety's right here. So you got to throw away from him. You don't throw it back into the inside, even though he's not going to get there. I'm just saying, you never throw a guy back inside. If anything, you lead him straight down the field or you put it on the outside shoulder. Puts it inside. He runs through Washington. We get the PI. Great. 3rd and 3. Same drive. See what happens here. Rudolph steps up. He's going to change the play. He's going to put Edmonds on his right side. Backs up. And once again, pressure gets there and Rudolph kind of panics and just tries to get rid of the ball. But when you put it in slow motion, here's your best matchup right here. Look at all that space and opportunity, man. This is Johnny Holton. We got Juju up top, so Juju is drawing a little more of the attention. This is your matchup right here. Just throw it. Heave it. You know, this is pretty much a slot fade. Stems inside, breaks it to the outside. You got him. It's man coverage here. This is cover 1. Now, I'm not saying he's going to make the catch. I'm just saying I need Rudolph to process these things a little faster. And that's the problem with Rudolph, guys. I know we're going to want to kill him for this game. He has to process things much sooner. Let it fly. You know, he's going to Deontay Johnson, the safe route, which, you know, maybe he does make that catch and it's a first down. I get it. You don't want to take the shot. But I'm just saying, you got to find your matchup a little sooner. Just my opinion. Let's move on. Let's see what else I want to show you guys, man. 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11. Now take a look at this one. Once again, this is missed tackling. This was actually beautiful coverage here. Let me show you guys what happened here. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this looks like a cover 6 invert to me. The reason why I say that is because we bring the nickel in really tight, which is Cam Sutton. Then he's going to bail and go deep. The safety is playing underneath for the most part. Got Barron there, and you got Nelson kind of playing this intermediate flat area. This looks like a cover 6. It might not be invert, because usually an invert situation usually happens with the outside corners. But this is a tricky defense, right? And it almost worked. And again, the reason why I think it's some type of invert is, look at this. You got Minka playing in the box, playing underneath, not in the box, but he's playing underneath. Minka's playing underneath. You got Hilton out here. You got Barron underneath. He's playing the flats or the intermediate area. And you got Cam Sutton going deep. He's going to end up your deepest player. Him and Joe Hayden and Steven Nelson. No, Steven Nelson's here. Him, Joe Hayden, and what's his name? Terrell Edmonds here. They all end up deep. So your nickel corner is the deepest. Your other corner. And then you got your safety down here. Your free safety is playing the intermediate area. Right? Taking anything away under the middle. Now he's more of a ball hawk, so maybe that's why you do that. But look at this. Everything was great. You got exactly what you want. You got great pressure that's going to force the check down. And I want you guys to pay attention to where the sticks are. Bam. Make the tackle, man. They 7 yards short. Well, 6 or so yards short right here. Mark Barron misses the tackle. Of course, he over pursues. And he's able to get the first down. This was 3rd and 11, folks. Again, for the most part, the defense played a great game, but you have to highlight these plays here. Look at this again. If Mark Barron makes this tackle, bam, make that tackle. It's not a first down. And look at your boy Minka makes a tackle through a blocker. He's a baller, man. He goes through this guy and still makes a tackle. But Mark Barron unable to make it happen. I'm just saying, man, you got to do better than that. You have to do better than that. All right, moving on. Let's look at some more. And then I'm going to get Kenyon on. Let me see. Let's get to the good stuff. But again, you know, we got him all the way down to, 3rd and 7. Again, this is on the same drive. We force another 3rd and 7, and look where they at. We really didn't give up more yards at all after that. 3 yards. Look at this. Great pressure. Force him out of the pocket. Unable to make the catch. We were getting pressure all night. We just weren't finishing enough. But let's look at this again. This was great. That defense played ball, guys, but I'm showing you both sides of the coin. I'm showing you the plays that we could have did better on, and I'm showing you how they was getting off and playing a good game. Everybody is accounted for. Fantastic. But once again, he's allowed to escape. He makes a better throw. That's a first down. But forced a bad throw there. We get the ball right back. Now, as far as offense, I'm only going to show you the important plays here. 3rd and 1. Again, this is still in the first quarter, folks. 3rd and 1 on the Pittsburgh 43. 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the quarter. Horrible throw, but let's see why. Play action. It's going to Juju. Throw it now. Why is he waiting so long to throw the ball? Anticipate. The pick, look, the pick is already there. Watch this. I'm going to show you. Bam. You're on your back foot. Let it go. Lets it go a tad bit late. That ball's got to come out right now. Hit him. Hit him while the traffic is still there. Hit him. Half second too late. Dude almost, dude hits him, kind of interferes the throw. Well, interferes with the throw, I should say. It's a bad throw, and we're taking off the field. And we're in punt formation. Let's look at it again from this angle. This is what I'm talking about. You can see it good right here. Throw it now. Did I not show y'all one of these plays last week? Throw it now. You don't have to wait for him to clear. He's in the clear. Throw it. What you waiting on? Throw the ball. You just waiting for him to get, like they say, college open? Throw the football right now. As soon as he clears, bam. We need 1 yard, Mason. One yard. You don't have to wait much longer than that. He is open, sir. You're going to throw it over here anyway. You're going to throw him open. I mean, let me check with the chat, man. Let me make sure. I want to make sure that I'm not off base. Are you guys following me right there? Am I right or wrong on that situation? Am I right or wrong about that situation? You guys let me know. Trey Briggs says he's following me. You're right. Yeah, man. And listen, I don't claim to be the best football expert or nothing like that. I'm just analyzing things that I see. That's all. Come on, Rudolph. Come on, man. Come on, buddy. You come on, bro. You pull the trigger. You gotta pull the trigger when you see it. Stop waiting for guys to be college open. Throw the football. And we got a punt right there. All right, so we punt again. And look at this. I'm going to keep showing you guys what the Steelers defense were doing. This is 3rd and 4 right after this. 3rd and 4. They only picked up 6 yards on this particular possession. They didn't get anything on 2nd and 4. Got them off the field again. Just so y'all believe me. Look, see that? 1st and 10, 2nd and 4, 3rd and 4. Steelers defense was doing their thing, man. All right, let's look at this one. 3rd and 12. We're in the 2nd quarter now. Let's see what Mason Rudolph does on this one. And after that, man, I think you guys have seen enough. You know, I'm going to go to the bad plays, and then I'm going to get Kenyon on here. I told y'all guys, you know, this one is going to run a little longer than expected. And this one, you can't put, you know, not so much on Rudolph. Pressure was in his face here. But let's see what happened. Because that offensive line was getting their butts kicked all game. Here they go. They're sending 5. One guy sneaks through. Rudolph is pressure in his face, and he heaves it. Again, I would prefer this ball to be on the outside. But I'm not going to criticize him as much on this one because he's got pressure in his face. This is a tough catch. But Johnny Horton, we need a big play, man. We need somebody to make a big play there. Again, tough catch, I'll admit. But let's look at the pressure again. Let's look at it from this angle. Myles Garrett is coming. Garrett sneaks through, I think. No, number 68 sneaks through. 98, excuse me. And whose guy was that? That was Ramon Foster and Marquise Pouncey. Marquise Pouncey. Look, Marquise Pouncey ends up on his butt. Tony, if you still watching this, I know you gonna love this. Tony always getting on Marquise Pouncey. Look at Pouncey. Pouncey gets pushed to the ground. Ramon Foster can't help him. And look at this. Foster ends up blocked. Look, would y'all look at this? Would y'all look at this? Yo, I can't make this stuff up. Look at what happens on this play. Ramon Foster gonna end up blocking David DeCastro. Watch. I'm gonna show it to you in slow motion, man. I'm not gonna touch anything. Watch this entire play. Watch Pouncey. Watch Foster. And watch where Foster and DeCastro ends up. And that's why I say I'm not going to blame Rudolph so much on this throw. Look at this, man. They run a little stunt there. Picked it up pretty decent, but my goodness. Rudolph just heaved it. But did y'all see that DeCastro and Foster were blocking each other? Johnny Horton, you got to make this play, baby. Great play by the defender, but you got to come up with that. And listen, I'm not expecting him to. I'm just saying somebody's got to make a big play when the offense is struggling. It would have been great if you could have came down with that one. Unfortunately, you did not. All right, moving on. And on this particular drive, they did score on us. Incomplete pass. Joe Hayden. Yeah, this was when Joe Hayden interfered in the end zone. Let me see. Was there a big play on that drive? Yeah, 2nd and 8. Let's look at that. 2nd and 8 on the Pittsburgh 34. They got 25 yards here. Wow. Wow. That hole in the defense right there. Let's see what happened. I remember looking at this in the car, man, and my dad was riding in the back, and I showed him. I said, "Pops, look at this." I remember this specifically. Without even looking at it right now, I think it was Barron that I was talking about on this play. I think it was Barron. Let's see. I remember showing my dad this. And then, facts. I was watching it on my phone. Yes. Told you. It was Barron. I remember this. And I told my dad, I said, look, based off of the coverage, let me show y'all what's happening here. This is 5 wide. So In most cases, guys, regardless of the defense you're in, you pretty much are going to turn this into somewhat of a match concept, depending on the routes, when they spread you out like that. Now, to the naked eye, this looks like cover 2 man to me. It might be cover 2, but it looks like they converted this into cover 2 man because they're backpedaling, but they're still kind of keeping these guys in front of them, right? Hilton automatically turns and runs. Devin Bush, is that Bush underneath? Devin Bush is playing the middle, so it looks like he could be perhaps still in a zone-ish type of, he's kind of acting like he's in zone. Gives a lot of cushion right there, but he keeps his man in front of him. The other corner on this side is staying with him, locked up. Like I said, Hilton is going to turn and run. 2 deep safeties. Why in the world? Explain to me why Mark Barron comes off of this guy. Even if this was zone, let's say this was a zone. Let's say it was cover 4 or perhaps cover 3 or any of those, right? Well, let's just say it's cover 4 because you can still get 2 deep safeties in cover 4, even if you're running match or quarters or palms, depending on, what the receivers do, right? Even if it was a situation like that and he's like the mid-read, why would you turn him loose? Why would you get depth? Get more depth. Because remember, there's nobody, this is the thing, there's nobody else here to threaten you. Now, there is a chance, if you're in a zone, the underneath guys are always going to look for anything that's coming across here. Drag, deep in, anything like that. But guys, again, it's just like I said on Mason Rudolph's part. On defense, you have to read the situation. Read it. This is 5 wide. This is an empty set. You automatically know it is nothing else. Right now, you can tell there's nobody else for you to be responsible for. Stay with him. You turn him loose. Peeking at the quarterback. Why? Why? You just gonna give all the responsibility to the safety? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Sometimes you have to read the situation, regardless of what the play is technically called. It's called read and react. You let him loose, and Baker Mayfield goes right in behind it. Let me see. Where we at, man, on time check, man? I don't even think I need to show the interceptions. We already at 55 minutes. Already. So, Kenyon, I'm about to get you on here, man, in a second, and we're going to run for a little bit. No more than 30 minutes. Well, let me bounce around really quick, man, and just show you guys the bad plays really, really quick. I mean, there's not really much more to show. Here's one of them. And look at the score, 14-0. And you let Morgan Burnett pick it off. Now this one, my man made a great play there. The defender made a great play, so that that throw, you could say it was underthrown, and I would see that, but it's not all the way Rudolph's fault necessarily here. If you put it in slow motion, Denzel Ward gets his hand on it. Great play by him, but again, like I said, got to get that ball out a little more in front. You get it out in front of him. Look, Ward is beat for the most part. Not beat, but if you get it out in front of him, it's either going to be a catch or a drop, but it's not going to be this. All right, let's move on to the next one, man. Let's move on to the next interception. This was just a horrible one here. Once again, the ball gets picked off in our own territory. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing, Rudolph? Where are you throwing this ball at? Look at it from this angle. And he had plenty of time right there. Back it up, back it up. Let me show it to you one more time. Plenty of time there. Make the throw, son. Throw it in front of him. Horrible throw, man. That's another interception in our own territory. And guess what? They didn't get any points off of that. See, the defense still balling. Still balling. Let's find another one. I'm definitely going to show you that 4th and 1. Where is it? Here it is. This right here is probably the worst. Look, it's still 14-7. Did y'all see that? Fourth quarter. It's still 14-7. Look where we are. Do y'all see where we are? We are driving. 4th and 1. This is probably the worst throw all night. And you know what? I think I can shut the film down after this one. We're not gonna get into all these plays. Already, as you can see, man, this is the night that, you know, I told you the film study always runs super long. This is absolutely ridiculous. Look at this. Look at this. You know what? I gotta pause this for a moment. I need time to compose myself. And let me say this to the Space League guy. We should have kept Dobbs. Come on, man. Come on. We were saying the same things about Dobbs. I'm just saying. But I'm not going to stay there too much. All right. Let's break it down. And then Kenyon, call into the queue, man. You're probably already in there, but go ahead and get queued up. And you know what? I'm going to ask you guys a little bit later in the show why we should have kept Dobbs. I want to hear it. I want to hear facts as far as his gameplay that he displayed for us. I want to hear exactly why we should have kept Dobbs. Oh, because he can make plays with his legs. Come on, man. I get all that, but he's not Lamar Jackson. Yeah, he might move the chains here and there, but come on, man. We've seen a game where Dobbs couldn't win for us. But anyway, let's go back and break this down, folks. And I hate to even do it. This is 4th and 1. Look at Rudolph. Can you see? Look where his eyes are. I want you guys to follow his eyes the entire time. He's open. What are you doing? Do y'all know what's going to happen if he throws this ball anywhere in this vicinity? Let me tell you what's going to happen. This is a touchdown. This is more than just a 1st and 1 and converting. This is a touchdown if he catches this ball. He's the fastest guy on the team. He's running straight up the middle, or if he catches it here, he's going to run up the middle. If he catches it anywhere here, he's probably going to make a move, put a foot in the ground, boom. He's the fastest guy on the team. All you got to do is get him the ball. We're on the Cleveland 32. It is currently 14-7. We're in the ball game right now. Let me show it to you from this angle. And I'm going to surprise y'all, man. And actually, Kenyon, we're going to start our conversation with Mason Rudolph. And I'm going to say my piece, and then I'll let you say, and then we'll take it from there. Like I said, we'll spend about 30 minutes in here. Look at this, man. First of all, and me and Floyd were together this weekend, and Floyd even pointed this out too, man. He moves into the pressure. Are y'all seeing this? He drifts into pressure. Into pressure. Drifts into the pressure. I'm gonna put this on super slow-mo. I'm gonna control it here. Look, folks, what is going on with his pocket presence? Dog, throw the ball. Just throw it. You could probably underhand throw it. He's wide open. If he catches it, throw it now. Excuse me. Look, ain't nobody back there but the referee. He's making it hard for me to defend, man. I'm about to bring my brother Kenyon on, man. Man. He's making it awful hard
2-minute warning.
To defend, folks. Okay. All right. Let's get Kenyon on in here, man. Oh, man. All right, Kenyon. Let's have at it. Make sure you can hear me, man. You able to hear me? Hello, Kenyon. I don't think Kenyon can hear me, guys.
Hello?
Yeah, you can hear me? Can you hear me?
No.
Oh, Lord. You can't hear me in the phone.
Can't hear you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how we gonna do this. All right, well, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Look at the chat. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and start talking, man, and, Kenyon will be able to respond, after I respond again. We've been through this before. Blog Talk Radio is tripping once again. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it, man. I'm really going to have to look into a different service. Anyway, let's talk about Mason Rudolph for a bit, man. Then Kenyon will come in right in after me. So I'm going to go ahead and mute him, and then, when he hears the unmute, he'll know to start talking. All right, Kenyon. So here's the thing with Mason Rudolph, man. We've seen his best game and we've seen his worst game. He probably had his best overall game against the Rams, even though the offense still was very minute. And horrible game against the Browns. But the whole let's put Duck in, it's just not going to happen, folks. It's not going to happen. Putting Duck in, it's not going to happen. I don't see it. I don't see the Steelers making a change right now, and here's the reason why. I think, and you know what? My cousin Floyd just texted me. I agree with him. I would love to see Duck play. It is. Like he said it's Duck time. It is Duck time. But I don't think the Steelers see it that way. I don't think the Steelers see it that way, folks, and for whatever reason, I just disappeared. I don't know why.
2-minute warning.
I just disappeared, guys. So we having all kinds of technical issues here tonight. So let me go ahead and get off screen. I think my battery ran low. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. And you guys will just be able to listen for the last remainder. So what we're going to do, Kenyon, I don't know how we're going to be able to make this happen tonight, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll go ahead and end it, I guess, here in a minute because it's not going to work. I think what we'll do, guys, is I definitely want to get Kenyon and Tony on when I can have them. I want to have a real discussion. I'm gonna make it my best and make it my mission to try to get that to happen sometime this week. Kenyon, if you're available tomorrow, let me know, man. Hopefully Blog Talk is working. What we'll do is we'll start it up, and if you can hear me, then boom, we'll just start a show. So let's plan for that. If not, Wednesday, let's say If not Wednesday, let's say maybe Friday sometime. Because I know Thursday I usually have my other podcast that I do. But as long as you guys are able to hear me, it's cool. I'll finish up what I'm going to say here. And Kenya, just confirm that you're hearing, what I'm saying here in the chat. If you're cool with that. And then Tony, if you see this on the replay, if you're cool with that, we'll try sometime tomorrow and see if we can make it happen. But basically, I'm just going to talk about Rudolph really quick, man, and then I'll get out of here. And that's my fault with the camera, guys. I went longer than expected tonight, and I don't think I had full battery charge on my camera, so that's why y'all can't see me. But it's all good, man. We're only gonna be here a few more minutes. I just don't think the Steelers are gonna pull him. Excuse me. I just don't think they're gonna pull him. I don't think it's gonna happen. And since y'all can't see me, you know what I'll do? Let me cut Game Pass back on, and let's just let that run, so you guys have something to look at. Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna happen, man. I don't foresee them. You know what I mean? I don't foresee them pulling Mason Rudolph. I think if anything, the Steelers are looking at this as an opportunity to see what the kid has. They're gonna want to see his back. See if he can, get himself back together, if you will. Y'all said get a charger. Yeah, man, what I need to do, man, real quick, let me comment on what Debbie just said. I need to get one of those dummy batteries for my camera and stop relying on the battery. So I might do that. And like I said, man, you guys help with that. So anytime you guys donate, I try to always, reinvest it back into the show. But yeah, I think that's what I need to do is get one of those dummy batteries that just goes into your camera. And that way I will never have to rely on the battery and all of that jazz. So maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I just don't see it, man. With 6 games left, I don't see it. I don't see them pulling him. Not at this point. Maybe if it's at a point where we are out of it completely, where we don't have a chance, maybe they let him play the last game or two. But I think they kind of believe in Rudolph. So now they got to at least see what he has. You know what I'm saying? And don't get it twisted. I think it's duck time, just like, my cousin Floyd would say. I think it is duck time only because I think Rudolph is just not processing it right at this moment. It doesn't mean that I don't think Mason Rudolph can become a good quarterback. I still think he has some of the intangibles to be a good quarterback. And I'm still willing to be patient with him, but maybe he just ain't ready. And that's the truth. He might just not be ready. But that doesn't mean that you throw him in the trash. You stick it out. Again, remember, folks, we stuck it out with Landry Jones as a backup all of these years. You let him play out his contract, and we'll see what he is next year and the year after. And if he still hasn't, progressed to where we want him, then you shake hands and say, see you later. But at this point, I would like to see duck because I'm not confident that Rudolph has it now. But that's totally different than me saying what some people are saying, oh, he's complete trash. No, I'm not going to say that. He just probably ain't there yet. He has some good qualities about him. If he could only develop better pocket presence and be more decisive with his decisions, I think we're having a different conversation about Rudolph. Now, I will say this. His arm seems to be a little bit weak. His arm talent does seem to be a little weak. And, those things you can't always improve upon. So I would expect to see improvement on that next season. And if we don't see it by next season, he's just not going to pan out. So I will say that. We should be able to see better arm talent by now and him getting better over the season, not regressing. You look at some of these other young guys, they might not be the best, but they are showing signs. I need Rudolph to start showing more signs. So that's where I am with it. We can say what we want about him, and y'all know the Steelers organization. If you're fans, then y'all would understand that they're not going to pull this guy. I don't see it happening, so we might as well hope for the best with him. And that's it. Let me read a few comments, guys. Debbie says, wonder if Ben is helping him. You don't see Ben reviewing plays on the tablet with Mason. Ben and Feetner should be helping Mason throw guys open. That last play Sim showed was awful. Yeah, it was terrible, right? Ridiculous. Lewis D said, well, if Mason struggles against the Bengals, maybe the Steelers put in Hodges. Maybe. We'll see. I just don't have confidence in the fact that they will pull him. I just don't. But maybe they will. I hope that concussion earlier this season don't have Mason altered a little bit or something. Might be right there, Darren. Gary and Williamson, Landry Jones was better than Mason. That's interesting. You know what? I just thought about something. I'm going to cut off this Game Pass because
2-minute warning
for me for copyright stuff. Knight Rider says Rudolph would be here for 5 more years if we gave Landry Jones that amount of time. Lord, Rudolph will retire still. It's possible, man. Eric Williams says, I'm about ready for Duck myself. It's different to get interceptions, trying to squeeze it in. It's another one everybody watching is like, what is he doing? Now, that is a fact. Like I said, let me make sure you guys hear me clear. I'm in favor of Duck playing right now because Rudolph doesn't appear to be ready. That doesn't mean that Mason Rudolph can't become a better quarterback. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I think some people are too quick to just throw people in the trash. I mean, again, we've seen him play, 6-7 games? That ain't enough for me to just say completely forget this guy. He just don't have it yet. I think he needs more time to see if he gets it. But as it stands right now, yes, I'm in favor of throw Duck in there and see if he can do anything better since we are in somewhat, which very slim, but we are in somewhat still contention for the playoff. So I am agreeing with you guys and saying, look, man, I think it might be Duck time. But I'm also looking at the reality. Don't expect the Steelers to do that. Wyatt Diggy says, I made the comment earlier, but don't think anyone would succeed at the return game with poor blocking we have in the kick return game. I fully agree with that. Marcus Jones says, you one of them, you throw Dobbs under the bus. I don't know who you talking about, Marcus. You talking about me or somebody else? But yes, if we're talking about Dobbs, yeah, I don't think Dobbs was much better. The only thing, again, I think Dobbs did give us is he's able to move the chains with his legs. But when it counted, when we needed him, we were having the same conversation about Dobbs. Let's stop acting like we didn't. Darren Dalton says, Sim, do you think it's time for the Steelers organization to get ready early on finding a top QB prospect to replace Ben since he's very close to the end of his career? Yeah, yes and no. I say yes because it would be great to kind of find that guy, but I say no because they're going to utilize these 2 years to try to get everything else they can get out of Ben on his last 2 years. And again, thinking from the Steelers' standpoint, they probably believe Mason Rudolph can still be that guy. Again, I'm not giving y'all my full opinion. Everything I do, for the most part, I'm looking from the standpoint of how the Steelers might view it. So keep that in mind. The Joker says, Sim, also the running back position needs to be addressed. It's clear as day at this point, Connor is made of glass. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. We definitely got to find a run game. Mr. Ab says, how many other third-round quarterbacks had success? Russell Wilson and Nick Foles. But Schaub, Greasy, McCown, McCoy, Glennon, the list is long. That's a good point, Mr. Abs. Very, very good point. Steelers 72 Stanley says, Rudolph is not the same ever since that hit. It's going to take time for his confidence to come back. That could be true, man, but I don't think I saw much from him before the hit. But I'm not taking away your comment. I think that's a very, very valid point. Could very well be. Luis says, Sim, people are saying that Mason shouldn't have been suspended for 1 game. I say if Garrett doesn't hit him with the helmet, are we even having this conversation? Think I'm being biased. Rudolph probably should be suspended a game. I'm not gonna lie about that. Because I would love to know. I would love somebody to ask him what was he doing. Reaching for Garrett's helmet. Now, the football player in me believes that he was just trying to get Garrett up off of him any way he could. Garrett did kind of hit him a little late. It was a little unnecessary. And he was frustrated and he was trying to get him off him. He grabbed his head and kicked and punched, whatever else he was doing. So, yeah, he probably deserves a game or 2 because he kind of instigated the situation. Now, Garrett, on the other hand, I mean, and I want to wait until I have Tony and Kenyon on so we can dive all the way into that stuff. But Garrett, on the other hand, wow. I mean, people have so many opinions on it. Man, I just feel like he had time to think about what he was doing with that helmet. You can't do that. You just can't do that. Even if you would have took it off and threw it, great. But you can't swing it and hit the man in the head with it. You just can't do that. You have to have more of a clearer mind to understand the situation before you go that far. Let's see, a few more. They said his finger got caught in the helmet. Maybe. It didn't quite look like that to me, but again, I don't know. Let me go back and see what Marcus Jones says. They said he out here getting receivers hurt. Okay. He has not played with the opportunity of Mason. Dobbs just didn't get the chance. All right, Marcus. We just agree to disagree. I'm sorry. You know, you're a big Dobbs fan. I am not. I'm sorry. Dobbs didn't show me anything. Not even in preseason. He didn't outplay Mason Rudolph in preseason. He has not outplayed Mason Rudolph in a football game. A real game. Granted, he hasn't had the full chance, the full opportunity, but again, Dobbs just, come on, man. Go back and look at preseason. That tells you all you need to know. Mason Rudolph outplayed him. And again, it's very easy to say who would have been better when they're not currently playing. I guarantee you, I fully guarantee you this. If Dobbs was the one playing right now and Mason Rudolph was not, and Dobbs was producing the same way, you guaranteed would be saying, man, we should play Mason Rudolph instead of Dobbs. Everything is results bias. Everything is. You got to be honest with yourselves. Mason Rudolph in preseason looked like the better pure quarterback than Joshua Dobbs. Joshua Dobbs has not looked great since he was a Steeler. He has not. Now, if you think he did, I'm not going to take that away from you. I can't take your opinion away. You can't take mine. But if we're just talking about football, I don't know how any of us could sit here and say that Joshua Dobbs was head and shoulders better than Mason Rudolph. It's easy to say that now because we've seen Mason Rudolph stink it up. But come on, man. I don't know how people are coming to that conclusion. I don't know. So it is what it is. Again, respect the opinion. We just agree to disagree. Excuse me. He said that's why you can't say put Duck in because it's the same situation. Steelers are going to have to ride this out unless he gets hurt. Yeah, man. It's it. Y'all should know that, man. I mean, you should know how it's going to play out. We all Steelers fans. We should know exactly how this thing is going to play out. The boy is not going to be benched unless he does something horrendous multiple times. Like, he needs to have 2 more games like that before they pull him. They're going to ride it out with Mason Rudolph, and it just is what it is. You either hit with him or you missed with him. And there you have it. And I'll ask one more time, Kenyon and area code 803, are you guys hearing me in the phone queue? I don't know why it's not working, man. Blog Talk is getting on my nerves, man. They really are. They really are. And you guys have experienced this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm sick of it. I will be contacting them again tonight. You know, I feel like they owe me some money. Garen Williamson says, the problem is that we don't have a consistent run game. That's very true. We don't. And again, man, I meant to get into more of this tonight. It just kind of got away from us with us watching the film, and I think you guys appreciate that anyway. So we will definitely get into all of that. Hopefully, I'm hoping that we can get this phone queue working by tomorrow because I want to bring this roundtable to you guys. Desperately want to do that. My camera will be charged. And yeah, you'll be able to see me for the whole time. But anyway, man, let's go ahead and get out of here, man. I appreciate all of you guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. And what is Marcus talking about? What about Big Fat Ben Buddy? Oh my God, there y'all go. Have at it, man. Talk about players and people all you want. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. But all right, man, I'm going to go ahead and get out here. So, of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe, man. Don't just watch and don't subscribe. What's the point of that? You might as well subscribe and know when the videos are coming. And speaking of which, if you are subscribed, make sure you cut on the notifications. Ring the bell so you know when the videos are live. Because sometimes we do pop-up shows, right? Also, make sure you hit that like button. It helps me out tremendously. You guys have no idea. Hit the like button, share the stream, tell a friend to tell a friend. Just do that for me. That's the least I can ask. And also, guys, if you choose to donate, feel free to do so. You can do it right here on YouTube. Hit the $ in the bottom of the chat corner and have at it. If you prefer outside of YouTube, Cash App, or PayPal, both options are available. Just go to the description right at the top, and there's my information. All right, so if you would like to donate, I thank you in advance. Outside of that, be looking out. Hopefully we can get to a show tomorrow. I can't guarantee a time or anything, but like I said, we'll do a test. I'll have Kenyon call in. I'll have Tony call in. We'll see if they can hear me, and if they can, we will broadcast the show. If they can't hear me through the queue, there's no need to do so. But I definitely want to get this roundtable. I want to get to it, man, because, yeah, definitely want to try to get at it, all right? But, all right, man, y'all have a good night. Be safe. God bless. And thanks for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.